Welcome to Mile High Reefers. I'm Scott Anderson, and this is Reefstock X.
Reefstock took place on February 25th and 26th at the Radisson Hotel in Denver, Colorado. The guest lineup looked awesome, and from past experiences, I knew it was going to be a blast, and I had to go. I woke up on a cold but beautiful Colorado morning. I packed my things, got in the car, and headed for Denver, Colorado. Denver is Colorado's capital city and sits at the base of the Rocky Mountains. It has easy access to skiing, biking, hunting, fishing, any of the outdoors activities you want to do, plus tons of great city life. It also has an awesome briefing community. I showed up at the Radisson for Reefstock about a half hour early, and the crowds were already piling in.
So I'm here at Restock 2017, and it may not look like nobody's here, but that's because I got in early. They let me in before everybody was here. So this is totally awesome.
This was the perfect opportunity for me to walk around and video the floor before all the guests were out and you couldn't see a thing because of the sea of bodies. But as you can see, it's a big event and it's really nicely done. But if you ever wondered what's going on behind the scenes before the doors open, well, all the vendors are getting their booths ready to go. They're going to be prim, they're going to be proper, everything's going to be in their place. It's a big ordeal to put one of these shows on. Also, these guys are coral junkies. They're visiting each other's booths and trading amongst themselves. And then the doors open and all the reefers come in. Now it's time for me to get to shopping because I've got to get some of this coral. There's some amazing stuff and some amazing deals. So I'm off to the vendors because I'm addicted to coral. This is the reason I come to these shows. And it's the only place in Colorado where I'm going to see this many tables full of coral at once. And it's amazing. There's fantastic deals, fantastic colors. The locals are here, like the fish crew and animal attractions. And we also have vendors from all over the country bringing great deals and great pieces. This is by far and away my favorite part. Then you get to see stuff in person that you just never see in real life. Like this pink carpet anemone. It's under deep blues, but this is what this coral looks like in real life. It is absolutely amazing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was also $800, but they have more stuff. They had a whole table full of really high-end, nice coral. Then there was Ecotech Marine's display tank, showing some amazing fish provided by Stone Aquatics, like this gold flake angel, and what I believe is a majestic angel. They also have the fish that I'm gonna buy when I win Powerball, a gem tank. This was a beautiful fish. I was so in love with these fish that I forgot to video how all this equipment makes the tank work. Ecotech was nice enough to give me a rundown on how their lighting system works, right off your cell phone. I may need to upgrade my tank's lighting system to the 21st century. Then I start looking around the crowds and notice that there's some super famous reefers out there. Now it's time to meet those people that I've only seen on YouTube. Like Mike Paletta, who's got to be the Yoda of reefing and is one of the speakers at Reefstock. And of course, Jake Adams of Reef Builders was there, as he's a big part of why this show happens every year. And I had to take pictures of him taking pictures. I don't know why. And then Joey, the king of DIY, found my camera. You'll see that video at the end. I had a little time before the first speaker, so I thought I'd go check out some of the gear vendors. There were so many, like eShops, Ecotech, Red Sea, JBJ, Aqua Medic, Caribsea, tons of good ones, but here's two of my favorites. JBJ also had their new QB tank on hand. This thing looked really nice. This is a big step up from the 24-gallon Nano that I run. The finish is great. It's got the controllable LED lighting in it. It's got everything you need equipment-wise to get started in the reef hobby. But if you need something bigger, they also still have their 45-gallon, which is just a fantastic tank. Now, there's too much video here, so I'm going to post this full interview separately. Aqua Medic was showing off their new line of DC skimmers. The DC means that the skimmer motor is controllable. allowing you to control the flow to the skimmer itself. This gives an extra level of control to the skimmer, and it'll be more energy efficient. It looks well made and comes in at a very reasonable price. This looks like a great skimmer for the reefer on a budget, or anybody who just wants something nice. And then there's the Aqua Medic Eco Drift pumps. More to come on these on a future episode of Mile High Reefers. I've already done and seen so much, but now it's time to go and see the very first speaker.
So I just finished up watching the first talk, and it was Mike Plettit. He does a great job. And this talk was just kind of about everything, and I saw they had a camera on it, so I hope they post the full talk on the Reef Builders website. If I find out about it, I'll link it down below. But he gave some very interesting points. The first of which is our corals are 60% mouth and stomach, so maybe we should start feeding them more. In the past, we've never really fed them. I know I don't really feed my corals, but if you think about it, when you have an organism that's 60% stomach, maybe we ought to think about it some more. The other thing that he said that kind of blew me away was he's actually dosing nitrates into his tank, because he thinks that the nutrients from the nitrates is actually helping out the tank. And he says that because of that, you'll have a lot of sponge in your tank, and that sponges are a great sign of how healthy your tank is. If you can keep a lot of natural sponges alive, then your tank is probably doing really well. And I see a lot of that in my tank. So those were really interesting takeaways I got from Mike's talk, and I'm really impressed with Mike. I think he does a great job.
642-040.
After the first speaker was the Raffle, and they had a lot of really cool gear to give away. Nice high-end stuff that you'd want to win. And you can just see from the crowd that everybody was really hoping to win one of those awesome prizes. And look at the turnout. This place is packed.
So I got about 20 minutes till the next speaker. So it's time for a bit of a break. I'm gonna have a beer and then go to the next speaker. So I just finished up with the second talk, and it was with James Craig, who works for a public aquarium in England, but he's working on coral spawning. And coral spawning is really important because, as everybody knows, we have coral bleaching going on in the world, and you can kind of see the mechanisms that builds the genetic structures within the coral and how the whole system begins to work. It also leads the potential to breed super hybrid coral that could be on the reef. Now that's a whole nother debate, but it's great for the environment at the very least, because we get an understanding of how all this works. But for the aquarium industry, what's really cool is he started showing some of the hybrids that he was able to get out of it. And one of the hybrids was split right across the center of the polyp. So it's two different species right of the polyp, and theoretically at that branch, it's gonna grow out to be two different species across the same one. And if you clip it at that branch when it grows, you'll get another one. I can't imagine what these are going to cost if you can get one in the wild, but that'll be amazing. So I'm impressed by what they're doing. So here's a person who's dedicated his whole life to coral propagation and learning. So he puts on an hour show. You get to learn a ton from it. But after everything's said and done, he sticks around and answers every question you might want to have on the subject, which is fantastic. I really enjoy that kind of thing. You just don't get that from YouTube or anything else, where you get to actually talk to the guest and the speaker. That's what makes things like Reefstock and any of these shows so awesome.
We're getting close to the end of the day. I'm beat, I've got corals getting cold. It's time to start heading home. Remember Joey, the king of DIY, got his hands on my camera? Well, Joey, why don't you lead us out?
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video tour of Reefstock with Mile High Reefers. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, and this is something you like, be sure you do, because he definitely makes some great videos. My name is Joey Mullen, the king of DIY. Thanks for watching.